Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
No, it's business, it's the office. I enjoy it because this is what I love to do.
Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter.
I understand, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but I'm up for the challenge.
Canelo Alvarez has reacted to new training footage of Terence Crawford, who is ramping up his preparations for a potential fight against the Mexican champion. Crawford's training includes a mix of strength and conditioning exercises, such as weightlifting and resistance training to build power and endurance. He also refines his punching techniques through mitt work and heavy bag sessions, enhancing his speed and precision. Arab Sheikh Turki Al-Sheikh, a dedicated boxing fan, has pledged to bring several world-class fights by 2025. Among these, the highly anticipated clash between Alvarez and Crawford could headline. According to Boxing News Online, the fighters privately met in London last week and reportedly began negotiating terms for their bout. ESPN reports that the fight is being targeted for Mexico's Independence Day weekend in mid-September, with Las Vegas as the likely venue. Boxing analyst Mike Coppinger stated, "From what I'm told, they're finalizing a deal for a September fight, likely with a 168-pound weight limit and no rehydration clause." A key challenge remains. Crawford would need to gain 14 pounds to compete in the super middleweight division. Canelo has successfully navigated weight class jumps throughout his career. He started as a super welterweight, where he claimed the WBC world title, before becoming the unified middleweight champion at 160 pounds. He briefly moved to light heavyweight to defeat Sergey Kovalev for the IBF title before returning to super middleweight. There, Alvarez made history as the first undisputed four-belt champion in the division. As talks progress, boxing fans worldwide eagerly await confirmation of what could be one of the sport's most thrilling matchups. Canelo Alvarez's fights rarely go to decision, a trend consistent since 2016. A potential clash with Terence Crawford would require Crawford to jump 2 weight classes, an ambitious move that Canelo has expressed reservations about. Emphasizing the importance of weight classes, Canelo remarked, "There are weight classes for a reason," suggesting Crawford performs best at 147 pounds. Crawford recently
beaten
moved
other
to
good fighters like
154
Spence,
pounds,
said
where he
Canelo to
captured a
TMZ
world
Sports,
title by
downgrading
defeating
Crawford's
Israel
record.
Nadal.
Canelo is
However,
right.
Canelo
Bud
believes
Crawford
the jump to 168 pounds would be a significant leap, potentially putting Crawford at a disadvantage due to size and power differences. Canelo's
So you can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
stance reflects the traditional boxing principle that weight divisions exist to maintain fairness, competitive balance, and athlete safety. Adding to the debate, Canelo has questioned Crawford's resume, describing it as padded. He argues that Crawford has navigated his 17-year career without facing consistent elite or A-level opposition. While Crawford's win against Errol Spence Jr. is notable, Canelo dismisses it as a victory over a diminished, weight-drained fighter. Beyond Spence, Canelo believes Crawford's record lacks standout achievements to justify the widespread praise he receives. Canelo Alvarez recently critiqued Terence Crawford's boxing record, claiming it lacks depth. Speaking to TMZ Sports, Canelo said, "He's very talented, but he's only won one big fight. If you look at his record, he's just beaten one good fighter. Other than that, he hasn't fought top-level opponents." Canelo referred to Crawford's victory over Errol Spence Jr., describing Spence as Worn out,
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, there's I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
and suggesting he hasn't been the same since his 2019 high-speed Ferrari crash. Canelo further criticized the way promoters have carefully managed Crawford's career, stating he's a product of how clever promoters match fighters in this era. He argued that Crawford has been the favorite in every fight during his 17-year career, not because of his dominance, but due to a lack of evenly
who has trained
matched
alongside
opponents.
Canelo under coach
In
Eddie
response,
Reynoso,
Crawford
is among
fired
those
back
who
on
think the
social
weight
media
increase could be
platform
too much
X,
for Crawford.
saying,
Despite these
"LOL,
concerns, the
that's
potential
crazy.
matchup has
So every
generated
fighter I've
significant
fought isn't
excitement
good,
among
but
boxing
won.
fans and analysts.
Just remember what you said, because I've always enjoyed making somebody look like a nobody." The exchange has heightened anticipation for a potential bout between the two champions. Critics of Terence Crawford argue that his career has been carefully managed, with matchups against B-level opponents to preserve an unblemished record while avoiding top-tier fighters like Jaron Ennis, Bakram Murtazaliev, and Virgil Ortiz Jr. Some believe Crawford should prove his worth at 168 pounds by facing elite competitors such as David Benavidez or David Morrell before challenging Canelo Alvarez. Despite the criticism, Crawford remains confident in his accomplishments, dismissing claims that his resume is weak or padded. He continues to assert his dominance in the sport, unfazed by the debate surrounding his career. Canelo has acknowledged the widespread desire among fighters to face him, saying, "Everyone wants to fight with me, so it's fine." If a
It's disrespectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight.
No, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
It's crazy when you asking about that, because you say, your matchup is coming out of the other weight classes, and that's it, and he's welterweight, so don't make sense. But if the fight make sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at #1 pound for pound. You think that's fair to you?
It's a few people there who deserve be the #1 pound per pound, and it's fine.
the fight makes sense, then why not? Initially hesitant to face Crawford, citing concerns about the lack of credit for defeating a smaller opponent, Canelo's stance has shifted. Recently, he met with boxing power broker Turki Al-Shak in London to discuss the possibility of a bout with Crawford. If finalized, it promises to be a highly anticipated showdown. Terence Crawford is set to make a significant jump to super middleweight, a move some experts believe could be challenging. Two-weight world champion Teofimo Lopez, who has trained alongside Canelo Alvarez under coach Eddie Reynoso, is among those questioning whether Crawford can handle the weight increase. Despite these concerns, the potential matchup has generated immense excitement among boxing fans and analysts. Canelo has expressed confidence in the possibility of facing Crawford, stating, "Easy money. If the money is right, I'm in."
80% of the profits from his fights, including ticket sales, go directly to him. Canelo explained that he takes these risks knowing he stands to make
This
substantial.
sentiment highlights Canelo's preference for matchups that align better with his own aggressive style. Reports suggest discussions about a fight between the two champions have progressed significantly. An agreement has reportedly been reached for a bout in Las Vegas in September 2025, generating significant buzz within the boxing community. Following his victory over Edgar Berlanga, Canelo acknowledged the possibility of facing Crawford, stating, "Anything is possible," but emphasized the need to secure favorable terms for such a high-profile event. In a recent development, Canelo and Crawford have
reported that the fight is being planned for the weekend of Mexico's Independence Day in mid-September. ESPN Boxing
mega fight. Both fighters have expressed mutual interest in the bout, with September 2025 emerging as the target date. While these developments signal a potential blockbuster showdown, Canelo remains focused on his current commitments. He has expressed a willingness to consider the fight with Crawford after fulfilling his existing obligations, leaving fans eagerly anticipating one of the most anticipated matchups in recent boxing history.